Hello and welcome back to the ACA podcast, but I guess I should say welcome to the first episode of Girls on Graps. We have rebranded. We will be staying on Sundays. Time slots will probably vary week per week. And sorry for the delay today. I had some tech issues, but we got it figured out. So we're here. Please, before we get into everything, please like, subscribe, send your super chats. We will be answering any questions that you have. We've got a few topics that we want to talk to today. You can see in the title, we're going to be talking about Cody being replaced for his WrestleMania moment again, from a perspective of people that aren't really WWE fans because we don't watch the product. We're going to be talking about the AEW's women's division, and then just whatever you guys want us to talk about, really, because this is basically the pilot episode.
I'm sorry.
As always, we are joined by Haunted Adam Cole. But before we get into everything, Anna, how are you? You're back again, and it's not been 6 months.
Wow, it's like a week or 2 weeks since the last one we had.
I think so.
3 weeks. Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay, it's still like a new record for me. Like, I've been so consistent here, so yeah. I'm very excited to be back, and now for Girls and Graps, we're gonna, like Charlie said, we're gonna have it every Sunday, and you're gonna see like some new faces. We're also gonna vary some stuff, so we're very excited for this, and yes, we're excited to have you guys here watching as well. So,
yes, absolutely. And Lexi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I just finished watching Train to Busan. I had my Taco Bell that I ate today, and I'm really excited for this. So. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. What about you?
I have had quite the day because whenever I go anywhere for Rev Pro shows, the trains just don't work. So it's been a journey, but I'm excited for the podcast. Literally a journey. But no, I'm excited for the podcast and for the rebranding. We've got some official stuff going on. I'm so sorry for my dog currently running around the house. But what do you guys want to get into first? It's quite the pressing topic at the moment, so I guess we should talk about Cody Rhodes and once again being snubbed. If you guys have somehow avoided finding out about this, Cody Rhodes has essentially stepped aside from having the match with Roman the rematch with Roman at WrestleMania, and has given it to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So none of us really watch WWE, but when you're on the IWC wrestling tour, it's hard to avoid it. So we were all very aware of the rumors and the speculation. And then it happened. The match hasn't been made official yet, but what are you guys' reactions to Cody Rhodes once again being snubbed at WrestleMania?
Kind of funny.
Yeah. Yes,
I know. Like, it's like a lot of people are taking it so personally as well. I get it. Like if you're invested, but it's kind of hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's kind of funny from like an outside perspective, like someone who's like separated. I still watch like the big shows. Like I know there's like the pay-per-views and stuff, but as someone who is just kind of like removed from actually watching it like consistently, like seeing this is just kind of like, what are we doing here? It's kind of funny in a messed up kind of way. I'm so sorry, Cody, but
it's just like, but I can understand from WWE side thinking, ooh, The Rock versus Roman. This was the match that everyone was talking about, like since Roman first got the title and he started going on this run. But then the timing is just so fucking bad. Because how do you give Cody 2 Royal Rumbles in a row and he still looks like a fucking loser? Like, how does that happen? And the whole segment of him saying like, oh yes, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. And just welcoming Dwayne, it was so awfully made. Like everything was so bad.
It just feels like a one big fever dream. Especially like I feel like no one in the following years is ever gonna forget the "I will get you," just not at WrestleMania. Like that is
that doesn't exist. It's like, why did you win the Royal Rumble though? Like, what is the point of anything?
quite possibly the worst thing somebody could have said, like, on air. Like, that's just, I can just feel like the oncoming, like, memes that are gonna be coming out from this little segment forever.
Yes.
I just, oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like, not only was Cody like, well, haha, I don't want you at WrestleMania anymore. Roman buried Seth's belt, and he buried Seth like 5 minutes straight. Like, he called, it was just like, you want the broke man's title, or do you want the big money? Like, bro, you can't do that knowing what's about to go down. Like, I don't know. I do feel for Cody because of he's been snubbed 2 years in a row, and it's definitely not his decision for it to happen. So it's quite unfortunate, but you can't deny the fact that The Rock vs. Roman is probably one of the biggest WrestleMania matches they can do. Like, at this point in WWE's run, like, there's not really anything bigger that you could run.
Yeah, and that's why, like, the whole response has been really surprising me, because in my mind, as someone who's not like a WWE fan or doesn't really follow the project, I would imagine that for WWE fans, this match would have been like the biggest thing, but just the just the whole like backlash that they've been getting with this, like it's one of the most unliked videos they ever had in their YouTube channel, stuff like that, and, like the hashtags and everything. I did not expect that at all. For me, it was just that was the part that was definitely the most surprising as someone who's not a WWE fan, because I didn't expect them to be that down for Cody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for him, but still, it's just insane. Like, you know, every hotel room has the Cody Rhodes chairs, just like the whole situation.
It's quite unfortunate, but like there's a real big reason why they've done it as well. Like, it doesn't take a lot to put together the fact of this was 100% a PR stunt to distract the news cycle from the Janelle Grant lawsuit that's ongoing, especially with Jordan Laurinaitis coming out and saying that he's also a victim in all of it, per the Vice article.
He can go fuck himself. So, like, I'm sorry.
Yes. So this is definitely something they've done because of, I don't think they necessarily cared what the reaction was. They just wanted people reacting to something in the product, not the lawsuit that the company's involved in. So it's quite grim, actually.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're a multi-billion-dollar company that's being under the former owner, I don't know if he's still owner or not, Vince McMahon, like, under federal investigation, you're not going to want people to talk about that. You're going to want to talk about, like, what they're doing so far. So I feel like The Rock coming in also was just kind of like he was like said, it's 100% like a PR stunt, because they're trying to pivot the attention from one thing to the other. And it's just, I mean, by the reaction online, you can tell that's working, because I mean, that was okay. That was trending.
It's real grim. So luckily, the Janelle Grant lawsuit has picked up quite a lot of steam, and there is major outlets covering it. Like Vice has covered it. CNN, I think, had an article on it. There's quite a lot of like major news articles about it now. So hopefully that continues as more stuff comes out, and this backfires on WWE majorly, because I can't imagine that, like, in the long run, it's gonna have been worth it to sacrifice the fans' creative trust to and pivot like this again, just for the sake of distracting from the inevitable. So,
I mean, they deserve all the bad that happens to them. I'm sorry, like,
yeah, they do.
But just going back like a bit into the actual like promo and the whole thing. For me, it was just like the whole thing, like Roman just burying Seth beforehand. Like, why would you? What is the point of that? Why would you bury like your other world champion just for the sake of it? And that whole thing, I don't know if that was also like a part of that they thought, ooh, let's do it. If he says that, it's gonna distract people. I don't know if that was a part of it, but it just felt like so.
It felt so personal. Oh my god, you called them broke?
I thought we were friends. Like,
he called them broke? Like, he called them the loser title. Like, oh my god, everything that they've been working to like put Seth over and the title that they made was just like that, like gone within like 2 minutes. It's just so.
No,
it's crazy.
Yeah, Cody looks like a loser. Seth looks like a bum. It's like,
yeah, because Seth's been begging for the match all week. Cody's beaten 3 times. Why do you want to face him? Like, why? I would be like, yeah, go face Roman. Go do it. It's
yeah. And there's no good outcome as well, because either Seth has to job for Cody for the 4th time in a row, which is like fucking insane, or or Cody or he loses, and there's literally, and then he loses 2 Royal Rumbles in a row as well. It doesn't make sense.
The funniest outcome of Seth versus Cody that could happen is Damian Priest winning and cashing in.
Yeah.
That is the funniest outcome. I mean, it's objectively hilarious as is. But if they had Damian Priest cash in, just like, yep. Because if that's quite like poetic justice for Seth, like that's how he won a Mania match. So it's quite a situation. But before we continue, we've got a few super chats building up, all related to this topic. So might as well go through some of them. So first we've got Bam255. I'm not going to read all the numbers. It's Bam. We all Bam.
It's Bam. Yeah, thank you, Bam.
For the super chat. Brackets, I don't watch WWE. Rock Nation, don't let Cody Confederacy, oh my gosh, take our main event from us. We can't let Hyrule Husky story, people's champ. Pam, that's crazy. But thank you for the
champion. Don't forget the rock emoji at the end.
Is that what it is?
It's a rock emoji.
Oh my God, I can't see it. That's incredible. Oh, we got Dragon Master Adam, a £5 super chat. Thank you. Hashtag we want Cody as a psyop by WWE to take attention away from SA/trafficking they helped enable. Disgusting. Yeah, we touched on that, and we very much agree with you that that's what the main goal of this feels like, and it is very fucking grim. We got another one from Bam, $2. Hashtag we want Cody as a new Make America Great Again. Oh my goodness.
I mean, when Cody got that tattoo, he should have known.
Yeah, he should have known. he really should have known.
That's on him.
Bam with another $2. All right, I got my jokes out now. ACA best trios go. Thank you. Appreciate all the love. You always show us a lot of love, and it means a lot. And then last super chat for now, we've got Sajizzle, $4.99 super chat. The Rock should have to answer for the Vince allegations at the presser. Bro hugged Vince in public last week. Yeah, that is a fair takeaway to have about it. He was, Vince was at the TKO presser when The Rock got added to the board, or I think that's what it was. But yeah, no, Vince was literally like, 6 days before the lawsuit came out. So yeah. Oh, we've got one more super chat just come through for now. Good job, Marcus. Marcus, obviously part of Unpurist, does the watch-alongs with us. Much love. Thank you for the support. $1.99 super chat. Big Dwayne home. Here's Dwayne The Rock. God bless everyone that's enjoying it. And
but Dwayne,
I'm so sorry to Cody.
I do hope that the journalists like stay on top of it, because the presser after the Royal Rumble, Cody got a better question than Triple H, and like he answered it better as well. I feel like it's just at this point they just really stay on their necks. You know, for me it's just I was watching it live, and how do you like the first question that someone has to ask for Triple H about Netflix? This, you know what I mean? It's just so irresponsible if you have that access, and with everything that's happening, I feel like it's really in bad taste to have those like silly little questions, and especially just the answers were very bad. You guys probably talked about it during the week, but I wasn't on. But the just saying, "Oh, I didn't read it," like, come on, you know, people need to be on his neck more. Like, if he answers, "I didn't read it," then the next person had an opportunity to ask a question. She was like, "Why and how?" Like, didn't read it. So I just think like everyone just needs to do better in the situation, and like I do appreciate all the people who are like brave enough to go there and actually ask it, and I hope for the next pressers, and like you said, they asked The Rock, like asked, you know, everyone who's involved, because it's the whole company.
Someone in chat will be able to tell me they've got a presser in Vegas next week, right? Is it just like them chatting, or is it something that questions can be asked at? Because it will be really interesting to see what happens with that. I remember seeing Sean Ross tweet that he'll be going to that, I think it was Shawn Ross. It was one of the big media guys. So yes, I'm assuming that is yes. So it is an actual presser. Well,
It's
free to attend.
too.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we'll obviously people be keeping an eye on that, see how that goes, because I don't think they can ask questions though. Goodness gracious. Yeah, well, it'll be something to keep an eye on, because if they don't talk about the lawsuit there, then it's very obvious what they're doing, because that's probably where they're going to make Rock vs. Roman official, because they're both going to be there. So
yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate situation. Justice for Janelle Grant. Obviously, if you haven't read the lawsuit, and you're trying to keep up with it, there's been some really great articles. Not great, but great like coverage of it. Brandon First and John Alba, they retweet a lot of them. So they're good people to follow. Sorry, something just fell in the other room. So they're good people to follow to keep up to date with it. Yeah, you guys got anything else on The Rock and Cody and Roman and Seth, or did we want to move on to next topic?
The one thing that I do hope is that like now one of the main events is going to be for the women, because I just know like they'll probably try to push for it to be Cody versus Seth one night and then The Rock versus Roman the other night as main events, but like for me that's just stupid, you know, like with the whole story they've been having with Bayley and Damage Control, which I think is one of the best like women's stories that they had in a while, like a long time. It's actually really well built and everything, and everyone's really behind Bayley, and I'm excited. It's a match that I'm excited for. I feel like that should be the main event, but over a match that is the fourth time that it's happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think if the match is Cody versus Seth, they don't deserve the main event for me. Like I'm sorry to Seth, like next year try again, like, but it should be the women, because for the past like 2 or 3 WrestleManias or something, even with the women like winning the Royal Rumble or this and that, they didn't have the main event that they deserved.
Yes.
So hopefully they changed it this year, but I'm not super hopeful knowing WWE. But
yeah, I'm not super hopeful about it either.
Io and Bayley. Yeah.
I think it should be Io and Bayley as well, but I think if it ends up being Rhea and Becky, that's probably the women's match they would go for. Not because they think that Io and Bayley don't deserve it, but they've like Rhea and Becky have been on Raw together for like a year now, and they just have not touched each other. So they're like, and that's the match they're going to perceive as the better match out of the two women's matches. So it wouldn't surprise me if that main event did.
But it's also the thing, like I feel like if because I do believe the wrestlers kind of have a say in it, and I don't think Becky, if she could like choose between having her the main event for her or like giving it to Seth, she would probably try to push it for Seth to have it.
Yeah,
because we never had it before. So that's why I don't really know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, Becky's got to earn a title shot first. I don't know how we're getting to Becky versus Rhea. I kind of assumed it would be a elimination chamber sort of deal, but yes, we shall see in the coming months on the road to WrestleMania. God bless anyone that still watches weekly WWE, because I've just not been able to do it for like years now. But if you guys are into it, God bless. I'm very happy for you. All power to you. Right, so if that's everything on WWE from us, we probably won't talk about it again unless you guys have specific questions. Make sure you like the video, and if you haven't already sent a super chat and you would like to, and you have a burning question, that is the best way to get it answered. But moving on, should we talk about the AEW women's division?
Yes, please.
Yes. How are we feeling about it? How are you guys feeling about it? Anna, I don't know how much you're able to keep up at the moment with AEW.
Yeah, just in general, wrestling as a whole, like I'm really trying to fit in my day, just the matches that I'm interested in, because I can't really keep up with weekly shows, especially with the time zones, you know. Dynamite starting for me at 2 a.m. So it's a bit hard to watch like full shows, but I've been following, like I know what's happening, and I'm just so happy for Queen Aminata. Like she deserves it. Best spots, just for me, just give her matches like every week in every show. She's amazing, and I love that they recognize she's amazing and they're using her like a lot. You know? That's the thing that's really making me the happiest. And every time that she has the opportunity, she's like showing out. So I feel like it's just it makes me happy to see. And I think at Collision, I don't know if that's like 100. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't watch the whole show. But didn't they have like more than one women's match?
They did.
So that's an improvement already. I mean, I know it can be like, ooh, bare minimum more than one women's match, but for AEW, that's like a nice step.
That is an improvement.
It is. So I hope they keep it like that because the division is so strong right now. And I do feel like they're setting up for Mercedes to come, and the division's already so incredibly strong. So we also talked about it last time. I feel like it's the best roster they ever had for the women.
100%, yeah.
And the fact that they're highlighting the right people, that's the thing for me, because they had good rosters before. Like, they always had very talented women, but then they would give titles and highlight and give matches to people that maybe were not the best. So now they're actually giving matches to women that wrestle like amazingly. And I feel like that also altering a lot of like fans' perspectives. So a lot of fans, for AEW fans, they don't really like women's wrestling that much, but because now they're showing women that like actually are amazing wrestlers, I can see the public opinion also shifting to support wrestling more from AEW fans. So that's also making me like, very excited. So.
Yeah, there's been a lot of positive changes. Like, I think AEW had this major issue of they were cycling through a lot of the same women, and whilst they were like getting TV time and they were improving, so many of the stories were stop start. They didn't really have any direction. But now that like they've got like women's storylines going on all three shows, and none of them really intertwine, which is the important thing. They're not telling the same stories on every single show, which really diluted their division because they weren't getting enough women on TV. So like Dynamite's obviously got the focus on Tony and Deonna. They're building that title match. On Collision, they're doing they've got Serena Deeb back. She's doing her matches. Then on Rampage, obviously they were doing the Chris Statlander Willow stuff, and probably got Megan Bain coming in to be managed by Stokely from all accounts. Like, that is where it does feel like it's the natural place for her to slot in there. So there's definitely been a shift in the locker room and the creative for the women, that they're cycling in talents more often that deserve the TV time. Like Queen Aminata, she has more than proved that she should be on TV like all the time. Like, I know she was injured, but like since she's come back and she's been having these matches, she has shown out so much. Like, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I feel like the last 6 weeks that they've like been like showcasing Queen Aminata, like she's been phenomenal. Like every time I go on Twitter, like you know, even if I don't like if I don't watch it, but I'll catch the Collision or like Dynamite later. Like that's always what I see, like people praising Queen Aminata, and it's just finally really cool seeing that, like, you know, somebody who's like, you know, still relatively new, that they're like showing like consistently, and like people, like it's building up, like, you know, people are getting behind her, people want to see more of her, which I think it's like a great job. Like, you know, how you said, like they're cycling out all the women that used to be on TV, and, you know, bringing like the new faces, running new storylines, and I think that's really helped them a lot, like create a lot more depth into this division, which was lacking for a while. And I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, more of the puzzle pieces are in place for them, it feels.
Because this is the first time, because there were other moments that we were also positive about the division and then it never went anywhere, but this time I'm actually feeling like it's going somewhere.
Yes.
You know, I can see that they're putting the effort. It's not like because I felt like for a long time we were kind of stuck in this toxic relationship cycle with AEW, that, you know, we're like, please treat the women better. Okay, we'll do it. And then they did for 2 weeks, and then it went back to normal. And then it was the same thing over and over again. But now it's been consistent change for a while, and it's still going. So I'm still a bit careful to not create a lot of expectations, but I am feeling more positive. And it's already this good. And Jamie is still not there, like it's not back. Athena is still like in our age, and she can go to TV
eventually. Please be on TV.
I know. I miss seeing Athena on TV.
Yeah, so there's still more people to come that are really gonna add a lot to the division. Yuka is still, I think she's still injured, but she should be back soon enough. So I feel like there's still so much more. And now maybe Tony is finally realizing, like, fuck, there's a lot of talent, so I need to use them now. Hopefully.
It does feel like especially like you've gone through all the names of people that have like ready to. Well, we don't know if they're ready to come back, but people that like are either needing to make the jump from ROH to AEW again, or like coming back from injury and stuff. And it does seem like if rumor is to believed, and I believe the rumors, to be honest, Mercedes is AEW bound like within the next like 5 weeks. Because of it's the March 13th show, right? The one that we don't know the venue for yet. And Tony Khan has a major announcement for Dynamite. And Andrew Zarian did a bit on it. I think it was on In the Weeds on Fightful Overbooked, where him and Joel Pearl were going back and forth, making just Mercedes Moné jokes and talking about TD Gardens. So it feels like the inevitable is happening, and it's taken us almost 2 years to get here. But Mercedes Moné is going to be all elite by all accounts. So feels like they're definitely gearing up the division for that and getting them ready for something of that. Like, she's going to be a game changer for them. I really do think so.
Yeah, because it's simply like you cannot have Mercedes in your company and still treat the division the way that they were treating it. It would not work. Because if you only have one women's match per show, and it's Mercedes, you know, she's going to have her segments and her matches, I think, almost every week. At least she should. And it wouldn't work if they just kept the same format as always, because then the whole division would just be about her. But it's good that they're also building different storylines and different things in different programs. I feel like it's the best that it's ever been. And with Mercedes and the people coming back, Megan also coming in, I think it's going to be even better. So,
yeah. Yes. It feels like they are setting up several different spots they could slot Mercedes into, because obviously I assume it's straight into the world title picture. But they've just done that with Deonna. So maybe she doesn't. Maybe she goes for the TBS belt. I don't know. She might want to wrestle Julia Hart. Mercedes is very much a loose cannon when it comes to what she wants to do creatively. So she could want to do anything in AEW, and Tony Khan would probably be like, yeah, all right, that's what you're doing then, I guess. But I'm very excited. If the announcement isn't TD Garden's on Wednesday, I have no idea what else it could be announcement-wise. So
announcement-wise, I feel like it could also be, which is also another thing that I thought of too. Like it could also be like, you know, potentially like Okada, but like saying something about Okada, but at the same time, it's like I have this whole like everyone already like assuming and thinking like, you know, it's going to be Mercedes, so everyone's already setting themselves up for like, oh, we're expecting Mercedes. So I feel like this is the best like time to announce it, if he's going to announce it, because then people are just going to be disappointed, and people are going to be like, you know, like a few months ago he was like, oh, Tony Khan has some major announcement, you know, and it was just something about like, I forgot what it was, and so everyone was just like, that's it, like, you know. So I feel like this is the time to make that announcement. Otherwise people are just going to be like,
chat is serenading.
But yeah, that's how I feel about it. So if it's not Mercedes, it's Okada, which honestly, you know, I don't get how people would still be disappointed because it's Okada.
But it's just a win-win situation. Unless Tony comes to TV and like, oh, the big announcement, Britt Baker's back or something, then like I cannot see it. Like something that would either way.
That would be a choice. That would be a choice. But, maybe not actually. Gonna run through a couple more super chats because I've been keeping an eye on them, and they're related to what we're talking about right now, so it makes sense. So Jizzle again, another $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Collision the last 2 weeks is the women's division I've always wanted out of AEW. Mercedes will take it to the pay-per-view main event for sure. That is something I wanted to mention as well after. She will be the first woman, one of the first women to main event an AEW pay-per-view, which is what she deserves. Like, I don't like saying wrestlers deserve things, but it's Mercedes Moné. Like, I think the biggest match they can run with the division right now is Mercedes versus Jamie. And you could main event Wembley with that. You could 100% main event Wembley with that. It would be very fucking cool if they did.
I do think because it would be like the first women's main event that they're gonna try to fit multiple women. I don't see it being a match. Yeah, like a triple threat or a fatal 4-way, because Britt Baker is definitely gonna be there. Maybe they want Tony as well. Like, we'll see how that's gonna go. But I think if you have Mercedes and you don't put her in a main event position, that's just being stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but her name, I feel like even in their division right now, counting like the whole division, men, women, whatever, like Mercedes' name is bigger than half, more than half, than like 90% of their whole roster.
Yeah, like the whole roster, she's top 10. Like, I can't think of many that would be above her, to be honest. Like,
so like Brian, but the way that Brian himself is positioning himself, like not wanting to win titles and stuff, he's putting himself like in a position of not being the main guy. He's just delivering iconic, amazing matches every week, which no complaints here. I feel like he's on his best run ever. Like, I'm really but I'm just saying, if he would position himself as the main event guy, if he wanted a title, then absolutely he would be on top. But just by name now and like the star power and everything, I think Mercedes would be probably the biggest. I don't even know who right now I would consider being bigger than her in that sense, you know, like actual like star power and name recognition outside of just AEW fans, just everything as a whole.
I think the only people that would really rival her would be Okada if he signs, and Ospreay. And like Kenny Omega as well, but him being out right now.
Triple threat. Kenny Okada versus Will Ospreay.
Okada, Ospreay, and Mercedes. What an insane 6 weeks if they all debut like within that time frame.
I mean, the first two signings already, like Brian Keith and Queen Aminata, like then there's more to come. I feel like this is a really strong sense of like of what they're going for, or what 2024 is going to be like for them. Like they're starting off on the strong foot. So.
It doesn't feel premature to say anymore, but we might be back.
We might be back.
Right.
Honestly, just this past month has been better than the whole of last year for me.
That is very fair. Right, next super chat. Whirling Andy, £4.99 super chat. Can I just say that Hazuki is one of the best wrestlers in the world and deserves her flowers?
Yes,
I'm not too familiar, but
one of the best. Yeah. She always delivers. Like she's always so consistent. I think she's probably one of the most, if not the most, consistent wrestler in Stardom right now, because every single match is like an 8 out of 10, like or above it. You know, I haven't watched the Stardom show yet because I was working the whole day today, but I'll try to catch up tomorrow. But I heard that her match for the high speed title against May Seda was the best match of the night, which doesn't really surprise me. But when you look at the whole card and all the names and everyone, all the matches, Hazuki always has like the best matches. You know, for example, we were talking about Mercedes. She had the triple threat with Mercedes and Azumi. Incredible. She had probably my favorite match from Saya Kamitani's white belt reign as well, which was one of my favorite matches of their year too. So Hazuki always been so consistent. She needs a title already because come on, she's always losing everything. But she deserves so much better.
Yeah, I need to get more familiar with Stardom this year. I say it all the time, but I need to make the time for it this year. You're gonna have to excuse my pronunciation. I think it's Kyle, but I'm not sure. And it's MX20. I have no idea what comment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's Mexican.
Thank you.
I know that.
Wonderful. Mercedes has to main Double or Nothing after debuting. I'm not against it.
I'm not against it.
I absolutely not against it.
I feel like if Tony, I don't know if Diona's gonna take Tony's title. I don't really see it for now because of how big Tony is with the fans and everything. But if Tony's to the champion, I feel like Mercedes versus Tony, and then they probably can fit like 2 more people or 1 more person if they want to have more women. But I feel like that's a Double or Nothing main event, like 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
She has like the ability to like event any pay-per-view, and it would fit. Like it would just. She has that like star power.
Absolutely.
Oh my
god. Ricky Starks, $4.99 super chat. Thank you for your support as always. Yas Queens, this ladies pod on Sundays. Sunday pod belongs to us Russell Furious ladies. Sweet queens. Oh,
thank
goodness.
you, Ricky Starks.
We appreciate
The very real
Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Oh
He's a
my
big fan. He's a big fan.
One of the Russell Furious ladies.
And then oh my gosh, I couldn't read. Anwar Starwin just sent some emojis with a $5 super chat. Thank you for the support. It does mean a lot to us. As always, we will be reading super chats periodically, so send as you're feeling. But yeah, AEW women's division, outside of Mercedes having matches with everyone and anyone, what do you want to see? What do you want from them going forward?
Honestly,
for me, go ahead.
For me, like personally, what I want is I want to see like Athena back on TV. I feel like that's also like, like, you know, once you have like, I know Athena, she's like last year Ring of Honor, she made that hers. Like I feel like as having been at Final Battle and seeing Billy Starks versus Athena, I 100% believe that Tony saw that and just changed his whole mindset on the women's division. He was like, okay, they did really good. Like the storyline with Lexi, Billy, and like Athena, great. And I know, like, you know, she's been responsible for like a lot of like key stuff that's happened in Ring of Honor. So I'm like, I want to see her on TV, just kind of bring that presence to AEW. Like I know, they've been building up like younger stars. Like I know the Renegade Twins and like, you know, like everyone else that's been in Ring of Honors, just kind of fill in her shoes while she takes. Cause I feel like once she gets like the division like prepped in Ring of Honor, I feel like it's time to her for to come back and just be like, hey, you know, we got this. Like we can show like, you know, how good this division actually is.
Yeah. With Athena, like I want her to be world champion in AEW one day, but because there's so many top stars vying for that position right now, I think she could really elevate the TBS belt and take it to like a new level. Like she could have not that there's anything wrong with the position it's in now necessarily, but she could have the Christian Cage effect and have it like make it like the one of the belts to be chasing.
Yeah, which was for me what Chris was doing with it before she lost it to Julia. And like no shade to Julia, but I mean Chris, her run with the TBS title is amazing. You know, every match she was delivering some of the best matches of her opponents' careers. And I think Athena can 100% do that. And if they leave her with the title for longer than left with Chris, she can definitely have that run, you know? I feel like that would be perfect. And after that run for Athena with the TBS title, she'll be, just with the fact of having her on TV, she's going to go like straight to the top of the list for people to go for the world title. And I wouldn't mind if she would be even the one to dethrone Mercedes or something. I feel like that would be amazing, you know? But yeah, I don't know. There's so many factors, but right now I'm just really excited to see the new women that are coming in. Like Mariah, she's not like new anymore, but I feel like I still would want to see her wrestling more, having pay-per-view matches, because she had some really good matches so far. But I want her full external matches. Let her go crazy, let her go off. And with Megan Bain coming in as well, there's like so much talent.
She's gonna be a game changer.
Because she's the first.
Her physical presence in the ring is crazy.
She's insanely strong. Like Megan Bain and both Megan and Mariah against Chris are like dream matches for me.
Yeah,
I think Megan versus Chris is just it's gonna hit
Ballad
so
powerhouses.
There's just so much potential. I feel like they really need to step up their game with the fact that with this amount of talent in the women's division, just one match per show, it's not gonna work anymore. You have way too many talented women, and I don't want them to just give them one match, but then make it, you know, like a multi-diva tag match, kind of like used to fit all women in the single match. Like, no, give them multiple matches per show, like 2-3 matches even. You have the talent for that, you have the women for that. So I'm just really excited to see just the matches themselves, because the women that are coming in and the women that they already have, just I know they can deliver incredible stuff. So
I have a question for you guys about the women's division. How would you feel if they tried to build a tag division? Because I have been very against it up until this point, to be honest.
I feel like before I probably would have been like a little bit like you said, like against it, just because they hadn't established the division enough yet for them to be like, oh, you know, like there was obviously like the one with like Anna and like Taya, like, you know, Outcast, you know, so there everyone already so it's just before I probably would have been against it, just because it's like you're just making it like so it's like a little bit easier for them to be like, okay, we'll just pair you guys together, go, instead of actually giving the time, building the time for it. But now it's like that they're like low-key like doing it. It's like there's still like ways to go to improve like individual like before, you know, it gets fully thrown together. But that's just me. I don't know.
I would kind of want them to do, you know, how they did the men's blind eliminator, not blind, it was an eliminator, the blind eliminator tag tournament. Do something like that with the women. See if it garners the interest. Like, you don't have, I don't know what they would win at the end because there's no tag titles for them to get a shot at. But figure out something, give them a trophy. I don't know, wrestling's fake. Do what you want with it. But yeah, I think run something like that. Do the blind eliminator. Make up some cool tag teams. Like, you've got the roster depth that you could make some really fun tag teams with that and build it into stories and stuff. So I think they should test something like that before they do tag title belts. But it does feel like that is the direction we've been progressing for about 6 months now. Like, low-key, they have tried to lay the foundation.
I guess for me, it's just the whole point of them actually having teams or having people together that makes sense. So it's not just very like mismatched. For example, with WWE, that they just put 2 random women that had nothing to do just together and like, hey, they're a tag team now, you know? And then they have to figure it out how to make it work after they already a tag team. So the teams that I could see now, if they just decide to do like a little tournament without the belts or anything, I feel like it would, like I said, start slow and keep building it. But Chris and Willow, for me, if they start, when eventually they have the belts, for me, they should be the first champions, just because it's what makes the most sense. There's also Julia Hart and Sky Blue that could be a tag team, but maybe Mariah and Tony. I don't know how their story is gonna go, but I don't know who else could be a tag team. That's the thing. Who?
Athena and Billy.
That would be nice as well. But yeah, I still feel like they're Saraya and Ruby.
Yes.
They're kind of together. But I mean, when Britt and Jamie are back, they'll probably be a team as well. So there would be teams that would make sense, but it really depends on how they go about it. I would start slow, like I said, just have like a tournament, don't introduce the belts first thing, just really test the waters. But it is a solution to have more women on TV, you know, because if you have one tag match and one singles match per show of the women's division, it's already like 6 women, for example. So
exactly.
But yeah, I'm still
Diamante and Mercedes Martinez. That's another good shout.
Yeah, so I'm still not 100% sold on it, but it depends on how they go about it. So
yeah, yes, indeed. I think they've got enough roster depth now that they can build up more tag teams, because there was a point, because they weren't cycling women on TV correctly and they were using like the same 4 talents, if they had a tag division they'd have no singles division. But I think they're in a better position to do something like that now. It's just a thought, because of it's like been in the back of my brain for a little while that they are definitely trending in that direction. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tony already had the belts made, to be honest. It really would not shock me.
Yeah, that's a very Tony thing to do.
Yes, women's division. Better times ahead and good times to be had right now. Queen Amina has definitely been the standout for me this year so far. I know we're only in February, but so far she has been the standout. She has been putting in the work. Because not only is she on like Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, she's also still doing Ring of Honor tapings, and she's been picking up wins on there. So, an actual queen, a literal queen, she's putting the work in. It is very impressive.
We need that All Elite graphic to drop soon because I feel like it's coming. I expect it within the next couple of weeks, honestly. Just the way that it's heading, if she continues like working like the way she is right now, would not be surprised if she's already like on a paper appearance like deal, which I'm sure she is, but like I don't know. It'd be cool. I
can't remember. Someone might be able to say in live chat. I think there was a story of that she was signed on the low. Like she had been signed, but they never dropped a graphic for her. But they should put a graphic out for her because she more than earned it at this point.
Yeah, because why would she be doing all these matches if she wasn't signed as well? You know?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like they would just. But yes, they should drop the graphic, of course.
Yeah. So I've got a couple more super chats to get through quick. Bam, another $2. Thank you. It's time to give Red Velvet the TBS title. That is also something I'd be more than happy to see. I like Red Velvet a lot.
Yes.
Like, there's still a way to go. Yeah. I feel like, she can. I feel like it can get there to that point, but they do need to give her more time and space and build her up more. Like, just right now, the way that she is now, she is a very good wrestler. I do like her. But I feel like just dropping the title on her now, she would not be, like, super prepared.
Yeah, because, I mean, she has that match against Tony on Wednesday, too, so I feel like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be...
Yes, indeed. And then we've got one more. Anjam PN, $2 super chat. No excuses for Athena to not be on TV this year. Absolutely. We are preaching. We have wanted Athena on TV for about 8 months now. Probably longer.
I feel like the only thing is who would you guys have take the title off her? If it's not Willow, like who would it be?
Nyla?
Yeah.
I don't really follow Ring of Honor that much, but
I know
she's leading with her currently. Fight Forward on January 10th. Per Fight for Queen Amina is signed with AEW, not known if full-time or tiered per appearance. Thank you, chat, for the confirmation. But yeah. Right. We got anything else on the AEW's women's division?
Not right now. I'm not aware of.
Get Stephanie Vakir in a match.
Yes.
With literally anyone on the roster. Literally anyone in the top half of the roster.
Some of them. We still have it. There's still some people that need to work a bit more, but that's just a division. With the amount of talent they have there, they do have a lot of opportunities for the people who are still not the best to get to a point where they are. So
yes,
they can work.
I feel like Stephanie has like the opportunity, like whenever she has like a match, like when she gets it, because I feel like right now they're focusing on the CMLL storyline, just like with the BCC, just trying to introduce, test the waters and stuff. But I feel like once they get more familiarized, like with, I feel like with CMLL, with AEW, the crossover, I feel like it would be a good time, especially to send with the women over too. Just kind of like, I like Stephanie Vakir, so good. She's
incredible.
Incredible.
Yes.
And so seeing her like on national television would also be like really cool because that's someone that that like, she puts in the work, she's good. Be like, I want to see more of this. It will have people like wanting to see more of like, good wrestling.
Yeah.
And
she has history with Miss Monet.
So. That match I think was probably I would say it's probably like my favorite singles match Mercedes had, but the Mayu match, no, but I would say like but the match with Stephanie is also incredible. I would absolutely love that. I just want Mercedes. Actually, I just want Mercedes to go on her Bryan run. Just
wrestle everyone,
face everyone, exactly, face everyone. Just pick up wins. Just deliver amazing matches every week. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's us done on the AEW women's division. If you guys have burning questions, now is the time to ask. If you want to do it through super chats, that would be extra appreciated. But yeah, just fill the time a little bit. I went to a Rev Pro show today. That was fun. Trent Seven unfortunately had a good match, but from the show, honestly, Connor Mills versus Trent Seven was like kind of mind blowing because that was the second match they've had this year. It was it was violent. Like Connor Mills had handprints on his chest and his back, and his face was split open. It was quite violent. Leighton Buzzard also wrestled Minoru Suzuki, which was
how was that?
Very fun. That was very, very fun. Leighton Buzzard, man, he went to Japan and came back like, I don't know, like 10 pounds heavier and fucking beast. Like he's just battering people in the ring now. It's very funny. But I do enjoy him. I think he's going to have a big year in Rev Pro. And the big point, the one that people probably care about more, it was Will Ospreay's probably last appearance in the 229, which is where they have the monthly London show. Yeah, man, bit emotional seeing Ospreay in that tiny little venue for probably the last time. He went face to face with Michael Oku, and they have a match for the British Heavyweight Championship on the 18th of February. And there's a couple of stipulations on it.
No, I'm just saying I'm so excited for this match because their match was it last year, like 2 years ago? When was it?
2 years ago.
That was like phenomenal match. I think it was the first match I ever saw from Michael Oku, and I was just blown away. Because
he's been a great champion.
Just like to be able to stay on the same level as someone like Ospreay, it's already mind blowing. But there were moments in that match that he even like outdid Ospreay in some moments. That like, damn, this guy is good. Just the whole match was amazing, the story and everything. So I'm so excited. What are the stipulations that you're saying?
So it's there will be no ref stoppages, and if Amira throws in the towel for Michael Oku, he has to forfeit the title as well. So, and Ospreay has said if he wins, he's not taking the belt with him. He's vacating immediately, and it will be up for grabs in the Revolution Rumble at the end of May. No, I lied. End of March is that show is. Who's had one entrance announced, and it's Josh Alexander. So, yay for the TNA fans. It was so random. Like I thought it was going to be Kid Lycos because it's just a bit because he never got eliminated last year. And no, it was Josh Alexander. I was like, wow, okay, TNA. But yeah, no, very excited for Ospreay vs Oku. The high stakes card, like the February 18th show, it's kind of nuts. Connor Mills is wrestling Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh. Okay.
I'm very excited. It's Connor Mills' year. I've decided he's gonna have an incredible 2024. What else have we got? Gabe Kidd is wrestling Shingo Takagi, which feels like it was just booked for me.
Yeah, very Charlie Pill.
What? This whole show is like, oh my god.
Luke Jacobs is wrestling JJ Gale as well.
Just Gabe Kidd and Shingo for me is already the whole show is already worth it just for that.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. What else is on the card? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Ricky Knight Jr. is wrestling Anthony Ogogo. Really excited about that. I couldn't.
Okay. I'll win all of them.
Yeah. And then for the women's match, it's Danny Luna versus Sapphire Reed. They had a match in Attack Pro Wrestling last weekend that I was there live for, and that was really fucking good. So I'm excited to see what they do in Rev Pro with probably longer.
I know you've been like talking about like how like good Danny Luna is, and then like you're right about her. She's a beast, bro. Like she's so good. Like just seeing her, I'm just like yes.
Which match of her should I watch? If you can recommend a match. Because I don't think I've ever seen it.
She's been on TNA a couple of times. I'm trying to think what on TNA. someone who watches TNA is going to help me with that one. But so, like her match she just had with Sapphire Reed this past weekend, Attack Pro. I can send you the link for it.
Mm-hmm.
She had a match against Leon Slater, which is really good.
That's the one that I watched because I remember I had it on one of my YouTube playlists. Nice. So it was Attack Pro, Danny Luna versus Leon Slater. Yes, that one was fun.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look at her cage match. I'll throw some recommendations together. If anyone else is interested, I can tweet them. I'll just throw them on Twitter. It's fine. But yeah, Danny Luna, she's probably the best women's wrestler in England right now. She wrestled in the Ultimate X match. She did, and she had a really good performance in that as well. That was on Hard to Kill, I believe. Yeah, Danny Luna, really highly rate her. I do speak quite highly of quite a few Brit Rest people, but when it comes to the women, the divisions is lacking a little bit. Like, it's picking up now, but Danny Luna is probably the best women, like British woman, right now, and she is signed to TNA. That is true.
Beast.
Yeah, very beast. There was a couple of questions in chat. I'll pull some of these up. Was there a Luke Jacobs match? I'm assuming that was talking about the show today. There was a Luke Jacobs match. Can't remember who he wrestled, but it was fun. Luke Jacobs does shoot headbutts, and it stresses me out every time. It's really
I'm a Stardom fan, so I love it.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game, but bro, there is like 200 people in this building. What are you doing? Thoughts on Jordan Grace's performance in the Royal Rumble? I didn't watch the Royal Rumble.
I think she did good. I watched it. Honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be in it. Like, whenever she came out, I was just like looking and I was like, oh. She had a little, like, a fun little showcase. I think she did pretty good. Like, just like, I feel like there was some parts or some times of the Rumble where she kind of have to, like, slow down a little bit for, like, the women. But overall, I think she had a pretty solid showcase, like, for her being in the Rumble. Like, good for her. Yeah.
I mean, for me, she was, like, one of the highlights, especially in the first half of the match, because the Rumble, both the men and the women, but the women was more like divided. Like, the first half was not half, like the first third, I guess, was really good, and then the middle just fell flat. And then when Jade came in, the whole thing completely shifted, and it was amazing. Like, it was actually very good. The way they booked Jade and stuff, I'm so happy with that. But I think in the first beginning of the match, Jordine, she did actually amazing. She was. And like I said, she had to slow down, but even, because she's leveled some people there. But I think she did great for her first big showcase in WWE. Like, I'm sure that a lot of people who watched it and never saw her before are probably impressed. So maybe I hope she gets more opportunities. I feel like she could, if they're going forward with this partnership and they're having like pay-per-views and stuff, she could have some good matches with some women who are in the roster. So
yeah,
that little face-off between Bianca and Jade, that was fun.
Yes. That I did see the clip of. I also saw the clip of Jade eliminating Nia Jax, where she just picked her up like nothing. It was crazy.
Yeah, with like one arm. The whole way they booked Jade was amazing. She eliminated Nia, Naomi, and Becky. So like, that's actually fucking insane. Yeah,
3 big names.
Exactly, and she felt like a star. It's just Jade. She always feels like a star. It's just her whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, the second she walked in, you sense like the energy. I know we throw around the world a lot, the aura, but she has like in space. So.
Yes, absolutely. Are War Dogs still free agents? I don't know. 2 of Clark Connors and Jordan Maloney just won the tag belts again. That means nothing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, to be honest, but I don't know. I have no insight on this, to be honest. I would, with the way they're being booked, I would say even if they don't plan on leaving right now. That would be my assumption, but again, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, I'm afraid.
This is my dogs for real.
These are my dogs for real. That cage match oh my god, English cage
Yes.
match next weekend. It's War Dogs. It's War Games.
Mm-hmm.
It's under War Games rules, which is very exciting.
For New Japan.
I haven't.
For New
It's
Japan,
kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show from today yet because I've been out all day. But I heard that Gabe Kidd vs Hanare was fucking incredible and worth watching. And then Catch 2-2 versus Driller and Clark. I spoiled the match result for that. Sorry. I heard that was pretty good as well. So I think there was another match on that card. I can't remember off the top of my head, but again, chat will tell me. What got? Who among the super young crop of women's wrestlers do you think will reach the highest peak at the moment?
Ooh.
If I'm not limited by company, let's just go all women's wrestlers right now. Any company.
Right now, it's just for me is Billy Starks. Like,
yeah,
she's already been presented like so good, especially with like being alongside Athena, who I know we've already talked so much in this podcast, but like I literally could say so much about her. Athena is like one of my favorite, like not just women's wrestler, but just like wrestlers in general. So I feel like the time that she's had with Athena has really helped her like come up like and get more comfortable with how she is. So I feel like personally, Billy Starks has like the potential to just be one of like the greatest women's wrestler because she's so young. Young. She will like I feel like the company AEW will build around her in the future years to come. She will definitely be main event level.
Yeah. I'm betting on Mariah a lot. I think she has I think she's the full package. And she's still pretty young as well. Kind of not as young as Billy, but I can definitely see her in being world champion, women's world champion in the future. By other companies, right now I'm really excited with like all the rookies from Stardom so far. The being like showcased, I just think they're really good. I mean, the Stardom rookies usually are, but I feel like still there's some of the stronger rookies I've seen in a while, and the way they're already being presented and stuff. Yeah, it's like a very strong class. So, and they're already really like showing out. So I think like I'm excited to see how that's gonna go. Which now they do need because a lot of people are like Julia's gonna leave, and there's a lot of people who are now in the top that maybe in a couple of years or like 3-4 years maybe they will also start leaving. Because Joshi's they usually have shorter careers, like the moves that they take, and so it is more usual for them to have like a bit shorter careers. Like some of them, not all of them, but it's been the case in Stardom a lot. So I'm excited to see the future of that as well. And I don't know, in WWE more specifically, Tiffany, I think she's pretty good also.
Tiff Stratton, yeah. I
feel like she's definitely a future world champion as well. So
Roxanne too. Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne. I've already spoken about both Danny Luna and Sapphire Reed. I rate quite highly. Danny Luna's like up there right now. She's not. I don't know how far into her wrestling career she is. At like 5 years, I think. But she's crazy talented. I think she's only going to get better like the more she's displayed on a national level. So and with the ones that you guys have said from like the major companies, those are the ones that I agree with. This isn't a question, but I did see the picture that he posted on his Instagram story, and it was fucking disgusting. Yeah, he has torn his bicep, and he's still going to be in the cage match.
Wrestlers,
so he wrestled today with his bicep torn.
Off the bone.
Off the bone. Look, bro, go to his Instagram story. He posted a video. It is like,
I'm gonna watch this real quick.
Wrestlers are insane. Like,
I'm a real advocate for please do not wrestle injured, but I also did see the Driller Killer that he did with one arm, and it's that was kind of beast. But good God, stop wrestling injured. What else we got?
I'm so excited for this cage match next week, but also Bryan versus Xavier Jr. too next week. I'm like,
yes,
that's probably the match that I'm the most excited because their first match for me was I just wanted it to never end. I just wanted them to wrestle forever and for hours nonstop. So just seeing them doing it again, I'm so excited for that one. But yeah,
not to
and also
steal thunder from like Dumb Guy Live or anything, but we can do a little preview of that. Like, it's still a week away, but we can chat about that because it's a real good card.
Yeah, and also like the thing for me more specifically is like, okay, I think we were talking about it a bit like in private, so I just want to bring it up. So it's kind of like United Empire is kind of cooked after this one, right?
Yeah.
What is the situation with that? Because Davis is injured and Kyle is there doing the singles thing with Don Callis, so Aussie Open is already kind of out, and then Ospreay is leaving, and they have still Jeff Cobb and Okan, but I don't know if they're still gonna be like
Jeff Cobb's injured right now as well.
Yeah,
he's injured. Oh shit!
Yeah, he's done something to his fly.
Yeah, United Empire. Last year was the year for the United Empire girlies. This year is like the fall of the United Empire girlies.
I mean,
it's the downfall. We had our moment.
We were so back last year. Now we're not.
Who do you have lead United Empire with Ospreay gone? It's gotta be Cobb, really.
It should be, but I'm afraid. I'm very scared of someone. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't know if you know. Matt Riddle.
Oh,
yeah.
That was. I thought you were gonna say TJP first. I was like, yeah, I agree, but I agree with that too.
I mean, at least TJP is already in the faction.
Yeah, especially with.
I will say about TJP this year, the fact that he's going to be doing both junior and heavyweight. Get Callum Newman and Francesco Akira teaming, because that is the next natural step. Because they would be a killer junior tag team.
That would be fun. Callum and Akira together.
Mm-hmm. Akira's just fucking incredible as it is, and he's like 24, so.
Yeah, so like with Ospreay leaving, what you guys seeing like United Empire like branching into AEW and just forming like their own little faction? Like, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm like very like about this because it's like I don't want United Empire to just like disband, but like, what do you do? Like, what's the actual plan for it? Like,
losing Ospreay is a big one because it doesn't feel like they groomed anyone to be the next leader.
I mean, because
it
everyone
is Ospreay's
like, you know, Aussie Open and Will Ospreay already here, which most likely like Will Ospreay coming into AEW is just going to be stuck in the Don Callis universe. Hopefully not, but that's what it looks like right
now. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
it's
is
kind
an
of
interesting one.
The reason I feel like Ali could join United Empire.
He would be a good leader for United Empire.
He would be.
I would be behind Ali as the leader for United Empire. But I don't know how that would work as well. Because I feel like whoever it's gonna be, they should have something with Ospreay, and if it's still gonna keep going, because I do feel like it is possible by the end of the cage match, Ospreay just grabbing the mic and saying like, yeah, United Empire, like done. Or like, oh, I'm gonna take United Empire to AEW.
All over again. I don't want them to disband. That makes me sad, but it does kind of feel inevitable.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of sad because it's like, what do you do from there? Like,
I feel like Ospreay can still kind of lead it from AEW in a sense, and because they still have the working relationship with New Japan, so it's not like necessarily. It's not like he's going to WWE and he can never even mention other companies. Like he can still mention it in promos and try like to recruit people from AEW to join him.
Realistically, who could you guys seeing like from AEW joining United Empire if he were to like start his own little like side faction there besides like the Aussie Open guys, because it's United Empire. So I don't.
I would love to see someone like a Mexican wrestler, because
I was gonna say a
they
luchador.
have like a lot of luchador, because they have a lot of different cultures. And there's the whole thing is that, you know, United Empire people from all around like different countries and stuff. So I feel like a luchador would actually be really nice if they could do that. So
I like to see Ray Phoenix. Like, I know we're getting to like Lucha Bros, but like I was gonna say Bandito at first, but like I don't know. I feel like Bandito is just such a natural like baby face. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Ray Phoenix would be really good in United Empire.
And that gives you a new direction as well, because like I don't think you necessarily need to keep the Lucha Bros as a tag team full time in AEW. Like they do so well as single wrestlers as well. Yeah.
It would be kind of funny, okay, if Penta, when he comes out as Penta Oscuro, he's a part of United Empire, but when he comes out as normal Penta, he's not.
He's not part of it yet. Oh, that would be pretty funny. I saw a chat that I wanted to bring up. Do you guys think Kid turns on Finley right after Nemeth takes his belt? I think he turns on him before Dominion. So by June.
Yeah. Could see that happening too, especially with how fast they're like tracking they're kind of like teasing the coming. I feel like that's a good time to do it. I don't know.
Gabe Kidd is very much a loose cannon. Like these backstage promos, he seems more and more unhinged every one I watch. So before we bounce back into chat, I just want to do, there's a couple more super chats. I need to take that off screen.
I mean, that is assuming that Nick Nemeth will take the belt off David Finlay. We don't know that.
Yeah, but I've convinced myself it's happening. He's doing this territory run right now. It's a global championship. It makes sense.
I would actually really like it. So, but I'm more scared of the fact that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I would like to see it. So, yeah. And Theodore, can I read some?
Yeah, let Anna read them. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, $2 Canadian, I think. Thank you so much, Jen. Need Queen's Class to feud with Mercedes like CMLL versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Yes, I would. If they bring up Stardom comes into AEW because of the link with Mercedes, I would be the happiest person alive. I would not complain. Like, please, if they showcase them well too, but I would absolutely love for Mercedes to bring those links, and because she would have the pull to even ask for Tony, like, hey, can we try to bring someone over so she can wrestle? And Rusty also loves her, so I could see that being something that could happen. And I would absolutely love. Oh, that would be so good. Does anyone? I feel like, for example, we were talking about Hazuki. If she asks for Hazuki to come over, she would blow everyone away. If people see Hazuki wrestling on TV, I feel like she could really blow people's minds. Azumi, especially. I think American fans would not know what hit them with Azumi. So I feel like there's so many good possibilities, and I do hope that's something that's in the cards for the future, for sure.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm well with it. I love seeing the international talent get displayed is not the right word. What am I trying to say? Spotlighted on AEW, and it's way overdue for Stardom involvement, to be honest. So, Jizzle, another $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Weekly 100k Monet challenge. Yes, absolutely. Get her on my screen every show, every day.
If they created something to like explain that every week she has open challenges, and then it's just different wrestlers, coming to challenge her and having amazing matches for like 10-15 minutes, I think that's perfect. That's such a perfect way to use her as well.
It genuinely is. Let's run through a couple of these. Osprey, Aussie Open, Hobbs, Commander, and a Go-Go as the new Yui. Where have you gotten a Go-Go from? Like, the rest of it I don't hate necessarily. Like, it would be a cool dynamic, but I'm really a Go-Go?
Is his tune AEW?
I do like the idea of Osprey, Aussie Open, and like Commander being, especially like if that would be like the case. Sorry, I forgot to turn my camera off, so you're just hearing Toad talk. I feel like I wouldn't hate the idea of Commander being in United Empire, just because it can actually like give him something, like some direction, instead of just like taking
floating about with Alex Abrahantes.
The hype man.
for every single.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
Oh.
Plus, I would kill to see like commanders like masks with the green and the gold. I feel like that would be pretty.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
yeah.
I feel like, and they can kind of do a storyline, because I would love to see an Osprey versus Commander match. So they can do like a storyline that Osprey is like recruiting people, and then he wrestles the people that he wants to recruit or something. That would be actually pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what he did with Dan Maloney and Callum Newman, so makes sense. There was there's another UE one that I want to bring up, and then there's another one as well. A-Stroke, you are just giving us all the questions right now. Would you eat in AEW because of baby faces? Osprey is going to be one of the biggest baby faces when he first gets there. Like, I think he will. Yeah. We were there at Full Gear when he came out. That crowd reaction was fucking nuts. Like, I think they might struggle to turn him heel to start with.
Yeah, unless like you have a good
heel.
Unless he's in Canada.
Yeah, but it just reminded me of Full Gear where I cannot find my phone whenever Osprey came out.
Oh my god, no! This is a story we need to tell. Oh my god! So we were at Full Gear, and at one point Lexi goes to do something. She might be going to buy a drink or something, and she came back. She was just like, "I can't find my phone." And I was like, what do you mean you can't find your phone? So I sent a text to Lexi's phone being like, if found, bring to the media section or hand into this kiosk. And then like she disappeared again. Did you miss Osprey coming out?
No, I saw Osprey coming out, but I remember because I had my purse. So whenever he came out, I was going to record, and then I was like, I was just standing there, and then I just Elevated is playing, and I'm just like contemplating, like I'm just looking at the ground, and I hear everyone cheering, and I'm just like, I don't know where my phone is at.
Like I'm just screaming because Osprey's come out, and then it was very very funny.
I found it. I found my phone, by the way, you guys. Oh no, oh my god. Okay, well, anyways, I did have my phone.
Where was your phone in the end?
Somebody took it off. Okay, so the thing is, I went to go get a drink, and then I went to go use the bathroom first, and then I went to go get a drink. So I went to the bathroom, and then I got a drink, and then I came to sit down, and I think I left it in the bathroom. And so I went back to the bathroom, and I was literally going through every stall that was open, and I was like, I cannot find my phone. And then I just like felt so defeated because I was like, well, I lost my phone. I don't know how I'm gonna get back home because that has like my everything. I have like my boarding pass, my like everything. So I was just like, well, and then that thing where Osprey came out, and everyone's just like, the pop that he got for Elevated was so fun, and I was just like trying to enjoy it, but then at the same time I was just like, my phone. And then I went out, and they had like the little concierge like helping like people who were right there by the lobby, and I was just like, hey, has anybody come to drop off a phone? And they were like, what does it look like? I was like, oh, it's like a pink iPhone. It has like the little Daredevil sticker in the back. They're like, what's a Daredevil? I'm like, oh, it's a comic book character. It's a clear case. And he was just like, is it this? And I was like, yes. And he was like, he made me like open it in front of him just to prove that it was mine. I was like, this is the passcode. And he was like, all right, you can go, or you can have it. And I was just like, I ran back. By the time I came back, Osprey segment was done. So I was like, no.
That's so lucky. So the fact that you found
I was crying. And I fell out of my seat when I saw Samoa Joe. I literally fell out of my seat when I saw Samoa Joe. So it was a very eventful pay-per-view. But
with Osprey, for me, he's just like he just works so well as a heel. So I don't know.
He's such a natural dickhead.
Exactly, and like I feel like even if he tries to be a babyface, even he's giving like full babyface promos, just because of the way he speaks, his accent, he's just gonna come across as a dickhead, and it's not his fault. He's just a natural heel, and he just works amazing like that. So I don't know. I would actually be very curious to try to see him on a babyface run. So
when will Bandito be cleared to wrestle? I wish I had an answer, to be honest, because he did get cleared, and then he had to have another surgery on his wrist. So we're kind of in limbo right now. Hopefully soon. I really miss seeing Bandito wrestle. It's been ages now. Like we're coming up on like what, 8-9 months? Like it is. It's pretty bad. It's been a while. I miss Bandito. He's an incredible wrestler.
I would love to. I know people were talking about the Bandito, Brian Keith, and Hangman little faction, and I would just that was so sick. I hope yes, I would.
Yeah, I really like that idea. It'd be interesting to see Hangman do something that isn't like in a faction that isn't related to the Elite. It would be interesting to see how that handle.
It would be nice, like him being like the leader, because I feel like both Brian Keith and Bandito are amazing, but I feel like them being with Hangman would be the thing to really like elevate them to that level as well. Because especially if they get the trios titles, they would just be incredible.
I know incredible trios.
We already got like Hangman versus Brian Keith, so there's already something there. Like the little starting like stepping stone is already there. So like,
yep.
It would be so. I know Tony is always looking on Twitter to get ideas, so that's an idea he should get. He should like be writing that down.
Yes, I do agree. Well, it feels like we're heading towards wrapping up. So unless you have any burning super chats you want to send in the next couple of minutes, I think that is the end of episode 1 of Girls on Graps. I think we did pretty good. We had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
You guys got anything you want to bring up, chat about real quick before we get out?
I did see one earlier that I meant to say, like, brought it up. I like blinked. But El Hijo del Wagner Jr., new UHC champ, first ever, second ever foreigner, first ever Mexican, which I am always really happy for it, getting some of my Mexican representation. But I thought that was really sick. I am more excited to see more of him in the future, and that's really all I just wanted to add. So yeah, I don't know.
Yes, awesome. He has my favorite wrestler name right now in the world. It's just so it's just so good.
It's very it's pretty cool. Vengeance Day predictions. The only match that I know is Trick Williams versus Ilya, and unless Ilya is getting called up, I don't see him losing now.
The one that I'm low-key excited about is Joe Gacy and D-Jet. Isn't that the match? I think so. I think that was it. I think that's the one that I saw earlier whenever I was scrolling in the timeline, and I was like, that kind of did pique my interest just because I was like, okay, I feel like that one could actually be pretty fun. It's a no disqualification match, so that's why I'm like no DQ matches. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's a no DQ. Oh my god, Ebu's in the chat.
Ebu, you've kind of been in and out. Thank you for hanging out with us. Are you making the wrong comment? That match is also on the card, and I quite like Lyra, so I hope that match goes well.
They look so similar to me.
Are you making this a weekly show? The hope is yes. The reason for the rebrand because I don't actually know if I explained this or not. We want to do it at least bi-weekly, but our schedules don't always line up. So we want to have it like a more general name, so that if like only 2 of us can be here, we can have a guest on, like a woman from the media space or people that we're friends with and stuff. We can bring them on, and it's just like more of a general name but still fits our vibe sort of thing. So that was the reason for the rebrand, and we want to make it more constant for you guys. We love doing it. We love yapping about wrestling, and we can always find something to talk about. So.
Can go yap on for hours if you guys let us. It's just like
honestly, we could stay on forever. I'll find something to talk about. Don't worry about it. This has the best parts of Worldwide and DGL. Great mix of topics. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have enjoyed it. It seems like you've had a good time in chat, and it's very much appreciated. But if we don't have any plugs, I believe that is us done.
Yeah.
You guys got anything to plug? Because I do not.
Just thank everyone, and then if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we do offer Wrestle Purist does offer great weekly shows. We have something for everyone. And we do our watch alongs on Wednesdays. I feel like this is something we always plug, but Worldwide tomorrow, which It's always a fun show. And then, we have Tuesdays, the Raw review. We have our watch-alongs on Wednesdays, the flagship on Thursdays, and then Friday.
Monty and Joe do a show. There's also Dumb Guy Live on Tuesday.
Yeah, Dumb Guy Live on Tuesdays as well. Sorry.
We made a Twitter page for our podcast, so you guys can follow it. Yes, at Girls and Graps WP. Yes, you guys can go follow that. We're gonna be posting there like updates about like the episodes and everything. And like Charlie said, the whole idea is to have also other women from the wrestling space come join us, and because our schedules are very hard to match.
Also,
today,
timings might change on a weekly basis because of I'm at shows, people have work. It's
like living
today, for example.
It's just like three different time zones is kind of hard to schedule around. So we try. So that's why that was also like the point of the rebrand, just because we wanted to be more inclusive towards like other people who might show up on here. It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited. I feel like this year we're actually making like an effort to make this more consistent.
Yeah.
So. It's always appreciated whenever everyone like tells us like how much they enjoy this, because we love doing this. So it's nice to get that.
Yeah.
And we'll start posting more on the Twitter as well, so you guys can send us questions or like ideas for topics or anything that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So follow there at Girls and Graps WP. And thank you so much for watching.
Right.
I'm so excited to do this more regularly as well.
Yeah.
Finally,
So please like and subscribe on your way out. Once the stream has ended, please go to the actual comment section, not the live chat section still, the actual comment section. And please leave us a comment, leave a like. It really does help the channel. And that is us done. Bye, guys.